I'm trying to decide how I want to lay it out. It's supposed to be a greenhouse type place, and I just learned a fantastic modeling trick called the data channel modifier, and it allows me to get these nice little tapered things in here. So I'll probably be using that some more. It's very easy to set up. So yeah, this is sort of what I have so far. And so I've got these columns, kind of opaque walls. Haven't decided on how I want to handle the walls yet, but I do know that I want to have a bunch of these plants in the center. So plants are something that are very valued in this world. They do not grow outside. And plants that are used not just for food, but for viewing pleasure are especially appreciated. And so this is like a display hall for like bonsai trees. And so I found I got a pack of 3D bonsai trees that I was going to try adding in here, but I want to have all these different platforms for them. And yeah, so let's see what I've got here. I started this a while back and kind of forgot about this particular scene, but I'm back in to an interior mode again, so I have to kind of remember what Past Me was thinking with it. Let me think here. So I have these. I'm gonna make a smoothing group with this. It seems like a good idea. I just recently changed where I put that. There we go. Make that a 1. Now we go into polygon and now I don't know if this is how I want to do it yet or not, but so yeah, I'm separating it up by smoothing groups. See how that looks. That should be better. I think these are looking funky because of the reflections. I hope that my stream is not being negatively impacted by rendering. I may have to hold off on rendering. Let's see if so I reset up my restream, so hopefully I'm streaming in Twitter and everything. Oh, it looks like I am not streaming on Twitter. Alright. Well then I will tweet. Alright. Alright, I have now broadcasted on my streaming. Oh yes, okay, so I did a morpher modifier and a volume select. That's how I did this. It's not necessarily how I want to do this though. Notice how long it takes to select these. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to... Yeah, it takes a long time to select. Wow. This is the old way I had done it, with something called the morpher modifier. I'm definitely going to replace that with data channel. Though I may want to just bring my plants in first and deal with that later, because these are okay, actually. Let's see. I think what was looking funky with some of my columns was that I have two columns. I have these ones on the outside and the inside. I'm gonna hide the selection here. That way I can select these guys. I think these will be okay. I just need to put some kind of buffer in. Alright, I'm gonna copy this floor. I'm gonna hide said floor. And what I want to do is I want to start making platforms for the plants to be on. So first I want to get a good sense of scale because that'll help me figure out what size to make the platforms. So my typical thing to do there is to make a box that's approximately the size of a person. Now this is a pretty big building. I may actually want to scale this down just a bit. Alright, wow, this is very small. So, I have a decision to make. It's like, what's going to go into... I wanted to have some things hanging from the ceiling, but I think... I think what I'm going to want to do here is just scale the whole thing down. Make it about, like, 0.5 the size. One of my problems is I tend to go a little too large in some of these, so... Alright. Oh yeah, now I remember why I had these golden things here. I may not need them anymore. I kind of like them okay, though. Alright. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna rescale the entire scene. So it might take it a little while to do this because of some of the modifiers I have on it. Oh, interesting. Look what happened here. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it looks like I have an artifact here doing the rescale. That this has happened to me before. I'm trying to remember what the protocol was of fixing it. I may end up having to save the... Man, why do these things always happen when I stream? Oh my gosh. They don't happen that often, and it seems like it's always when I screen. I just checked chat here. Nautic Official says, greetings, what about the forests? I assume you mean, where are the plants outside? This is on a different planet, and it is, does not have the right gas composition or temperature to foster plant life. So, yeah, there aren't forests. I'm gonna see if this artifacting is happening in the render or not. That'll help me. It is not. Interesting. Interesting. What do I do with that then? Oh, it fixed. Interesting. So what did I just do? That might have fixed that. Was it opening the material editor? I don't know, but I am going to save before I realize. Before. Well, yeah, this is the reason I can't remember how I fixed it, is it kind of fixes itself, and I don't know why. Oh, okay, yeah, this looks better now that I have darker. Yeah, there we go. So now I gotta add my little people again. So that's a little bit better, but boy, this place is still pretty big. I wonder if I should scale it again. Brave getting that air again. I'm gonna try scaling it. I'm gonna try having it one more. Should I though? I'm gonna try to keep it at this scale, I think. Just hang stuff from the ceiling. I wanted to have another floor that was kind of in between. I'm just trying to think about an efficient use of space, considering, let's scale it a little bit more and roll the dice here. Alright. I'm gonna make it. Okay, come on, you can do it. See, what it's doing is it did it again. Okay, so now I have to recreate whatever I did that made these go away. So I opened up the material editor and I added a material, but I think I actually managed to get it to go away before that. I can ignore. Oh yeah, I did render it. That made them go away. They went away in the render after I rendered. Yep, not in the render. Ah! It was the render. Okay, now I know. Now normally if I wasn't streaming, I would make a note in my personal help file about that's what you do, but I think the embarrassment of having it happen on stream will just help me remember. So, probably fine. I think I want to make... Thinking about this data channel modifier, I'm gonna make it taper a little bit less. See how, notice how the taper went away, and now I'm gonna take my little person. Alright, that's a little better. I think I can live with this size for now. See, what I wanted is I want to have these different display tables be the hexes. And so notice I've got this flat floor here, and I'm going to go into polygon mode here, and I'm going to extrude some of these. And I'm trying to decide whether to extrude them on a different layer or like as a different object or not. So I want these things here to be platforms. See if select similar will help me out here. Helps a little bit. I'm going to just go into top view here and make this a little bit easier. I'm using the paint selection here. I've been doing a lot of 2D work lately, so I'm a bit rusty on my my 3D. my paint tool's a little bit too big right now, so I'm just gonna do this. Now I'm gonna make a new object with that. So yeah, I want to have this kind of like these elevated platforms here. I just recentered the pivot. And we'll make copies. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and merge these. Actually, I'm going to make one master copy. No modifier. That will be in reserve. It's always good to do this. Save some time. Do I like this thickness? What I was hoping to do is actually kind of scale these down. And I know I'm scaling at object level, and that's bad, but I'm about to merge these all, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, just used object attacher. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a taper. Do a nice taper here. So yeah, something like this. And yeah, that should, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use an FFD. Gosh, I love the FFD modifier. I use it so much. There we go, something like that. And now what that means is I can add things to this later, and I have all the modifiers saved, and so I can apply the same thing. Let's take you and bring you back down here. I'm going to create an outline. I'm going to do, what I do is I select border, and then I'm going to create a linear shape with that. So now I have a spline that's tracing the outside right here. And now, let me go into nested isolation mode here. Let's see. If I outline this, it's probably the best way to go. It's a really nice way to create an outline and not have to deal with self-intersections. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and I could actually play around with smoothing this. It might be kind of interesting. But right now I'm just going to detach the splines. And I have two splines. And I'm going to center the pivot. I have buttons mapped to my mouse. Do this. I need to find my stream chat. Oh, also, I'm gonna put my Discord link up on the screen, because I realize now I'm in my Discord chat now, so if anyone wants to join and talk with me while I stream, you can totally do that. I am just slowly moving it in. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions about like the world this is for and everything. This is for the game world I'm building. May end up, so yeah, this is going to, so I'll do a quick preview render. Ah, see what's happening here. This, these are volumetric, so the material's looking all wonky. What I need to do is actually place a shell modifier, which will give it some thickness. So let's give it an inner thickness of like 10, 15 centimeters. Hold that in reserve. So now, yeah, it should look a lot better now. Yeah. Not official ask how's it going? It is going well. I have really been looking forward to getting back into 3D, and this is a good time for me to stream. I'm realizing I'm about to overlap with the Blue Tech stream, and so I'm not sure how to do that. I may end up just catching up on it tomorrow morning. Not sure yet. So I'm playing around with my different floors here. Hey! Nice to have you in here. Eusins has joined the chat. Yeah, I was already, yeah, I do a lot of 3D stuff. It's just been, the 2D was actually, bit of a, departure, because most of the art for my game is still 3D. Oh, and Janigma's here too. Cool. Yeah, nice to have you guys in here. I realized from some bad planning on my part that a stream I usually attend is happening in like 10 minutes. So I'm trying to decide whether to stop streaming and catch the makeup. I might just catch the makeup on it tomorrow. And Blue Surge Soap Company, cool. Thanks. Yeah, you guys can only see. I'm in isolation mode now, so this is the actual full scene. And I started on it a while back, and I had this problem with the scene. It turns out that I wasn't using the right technique for. So you'll notice this taper here. My performance was really bad in it, and I kind of abandoned the scene until I could figure out what was going on with it. And it turns out that it was I should have been using the data channel modifier. So, it's significantly better now, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go back in this scene and finish it, because I need to finish it anyways. And... so this is kind of... what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, oh yeah, this looks very convoluted because it's all basically crystal material right now. So I'm gonna change the material here. So let's see, what material? These are all kind of temporary materials that don't take as long to render. So let's try this kind of frosted glass here. And I'm gonna render just this section here. That's better. I can deal with this for now. I'm gonna be adding some other stuff to it later anyways. So yeah, this is going to be, for those of you just coming in, this is going to be a bonsai display greenhouse because plants are seen as art in a much bigger way in this world than normal. And so I actually bought an asset pack of bonsai trees on the internet that I'm going to add and pepper through here. But first I'm going to extrude some tables for the plants to live on. So I've got right here, I've got these different, so these different floor hexagons are all going to be potential tables for the plants to be. So, let's see. So this is the base, and I'm trying to decide whether I want like kind of like a regular pattern or something that's a little more natural. Because here's the deal, is that plants do not live naturally outside in this world. There are a lot of great things about this world, but there are no outdoor forests. You can have arboretums, and there are plenty of those, and you can have structures that are so large that they do feel like places that might be on the border of wild, but so yeah. Question is this is carbon-based life forms. Yep. World of Sleepers. Couldn't get my little now playing feature to work. I may end up streaming the audio from the Bluetext stream today. But in fact, I'm gonna go ask if I have permission to do that. Yeah, this is it works out better. Yeah, this is the other stream going on soon. All right. Alright. So I selected some places for the plants to be. Let me see how many viewers I have. I might just bail and raid this other stream. Definitely in a mood to keep working, but I could just do it after that, a little later today. I'll probably raid them later on. Yeah, bonsai are great. I had one. Yeah. Oh, I can show off. I can show off my asset pack for the bonsai too. Oh crap! I forgot to buy this one plugin for browsing. Browsing materials, and like browsing 3D models, called Project Manager, and this would be the thing I would add them in. So it only lets me add every other one. So where it says demo, I can't drag and drop, but we'll drag and drop one here, and it should be able to find all the materials. If not, I'll just have to relink them. So, yep, I've got these different trees. It might be better to not link the materials anyways until I know where I want to put everything, because if I render... Now this is interesting. This is very small. Let me measure this here. 52, 37, 59. Yep, it's a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be. This kind of means I should probably rescale my scene again. Yeah, because I was really... They are the proper scale, it's just the rest of my scene is a little bit big right now. Could also make the bonsai a little bit bigger too. I can't... if I want them to be real earth plants, I can't go too much. Oh, I didn't know that it was really hard, or that you were planning to do a bonsai business. It's really interesting. I would imagine that would take like a generation to really get started. Wow. I literally got my bonsai like just the local like greenhouse. I have the visual from the blue text stream going on here. It's very cool. So definitely check it out. Yeah, okay. I'm going to save and then do my rescale world units. And the reason why I do it like this is a great tool because it saves. Let's see, what size do I want to? I'm gonna actually go like I'll do another 0.75. It's gonna take a little while, but what it's doing is it's preserving all the values on the modifiers. If you scale with the normal scale tool, it can mess things up because if you have a modifier, like you've got a surface and you have a modifier that's like a thickness of, say, 1 inch, and when you scale that whole thing, software thinks that you've morphed it in this way where it'll still display an inch even though the thing's not an inch. If that makes sense. It's smaller than an inch because I scaled the whole thing, but the numbers don't reflect that. And so what I want to do is I want to preserve all of those because it's very useful being able to just enter in the data and have it be like the right size. See, but now since I scaled this thing, I have to rescale my bonsai. And this, about something like this is fine. So now if this is on a hexagonal table, the table is about, is still bigger than it. I think this is a fair size. I'm okay with this size of scene. Let's get another bonsai in here. And yeah, this plugin has this nice like place and paint kind of a thing that I definitely could see myself using, just not right now. It's weird, I'm watching a stream and streaming at the same time. In a log of modern life here. So this here, I had all the polygons selected, so I'm going to shift drag to make a separate object with these. And see. To hide the selection here. That's strange. So... oh, there they are. Okay. Cool. I just, I usually when I make a new object, I immediately make it a different color so I can see. Now I'm going to give this an opaque material. So I really want to dance between opaque, translucent, shiny. I really want to like up the material game here. There we go. So these are probably a little bit too high still. I need to move my little person up to really get a sense of that. I'm going to enter nested isolation, and yep, I am right. So I want these to be at eye level. And if I were just making art, this wouldn't be as important. But... weird. My music glitched out. Yeah, that looks good. I kind of wanted to differentiate these. So what I could just do is there's a few different ways of doing that. I think I'm going to keep these as they are because these will... oh, I know what I'll do. These will be the bases. Let's see, I'm checking chat here. Sasumu Yokota is nice with working with natural, dreamy landscapes. Oh, you're talking about soundscapes. Awesome. I will save this artist. Thank you. So, what I love about working this way in 3D is that everything is editable. So I can remove the shell modifier, I go into polygon mode, and now with local I can scale each polygon on its own. Except that's not what I'm doing. In fact, I need to inset. That's what I need to do. So what I do is I inset, I go to like actually inset settings, and then I go to per polygon. And this is more of what I want here. So I can dial in. I'm gonna actually just make a separate object with that. And I will extrude these with the shell modifier. We're gonna make it now, actually I might want these to actually just be the tabletops. So we're gonna just make that like 5 centimeters thick. And then I'm going to take this and I'm gonna extrude it again. My neck. Alright. So I'm gonna go into a second isolation mode with just this. And hit 4 to go into polygon mode again. And let's see, what do I want to do? I know, I'll select the border. And once you have that border, I'm gonna invert the selection. Wait, no, I'm gonna select the border, convert to edge, then invert, backspace. What I want to do is I want to make an outline of this. Or do I? What do you think about this here? Oh, I know. How about I'll just select the 6-sided polygons and not do this effect with the quads. I think that's the best way to do it. So the best way to do that is to go into the selection tools and you go to sides, and sides equals 6. Boom, you got the selection. Great little handy trick there if you happen, in the rare chance you happen to be using the software. And luckily it remembers my settings before. So this is going to be sort of the shaft of the table. And I'm going to make a separate object with that. And now what I can do is I can shell that again. Only now I'm going to go about 150 centimeters. And this time I'm going to add segments. And what I can do with that is then I can like taper them in this nice way. So that's going to work out. Alright, how do I want to play this here? I know what I'll do. So I'll just select, go into vertex mode, enable soft selection, like that. 25 is kind of where I want this. In local mode, I just switch my cursor to local. Okay, this is something I could probably do instead of the morpher because it's not behaving the way I wanted it to. Although actually what it's doing here is kind of cool. I kind of like the way, this is a good example of a happy accident actually. I like the way, rather than just being universally tapered, they're going in. Except, I want to do this on a, if in case I change my mind, I'm going to do this on a different edit poly. Because that way that's actually a lot more interesting. I think what I could do... I'm wondering if this is a data channel thing or not. Oh, I know how you would do this with the data channel, though. Yeah, you would use shell. You'd make these much thinner and use a shell modifier. I know how I would go about doing this, but I might just keep it like this for now, because I'm trying to flesh in all of my objects as much as possible. Just make this a different color here. Then I will exit isolation mode. I'm going to isolate again and just drop these to the floor. Isolation mode is your friend. So now I've got little places for all of them to live. Thank you, Nazik. Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's a great world to be in. It's just you kind of run the risk, or at least I'm kind of a problem solver in my world building tendencies, and so I have a tendency to build utopias too much. So this is people with an amazing amount of technology that allows them to have, by many measures, a high quality of life, but one of the limiting factors in the enjoyableness of this world is that there is no planty wilderness, which was a very difficult decision to make. This held me back a lot in developing this IP, actually. Was really wanting... I tend to project myself into my worlds. And to have a world that does not have that, it's kind of sad. But I want it to be sad in a beautiful way, I guess. See, I've got bases here. People make it work. I'm gonna risk it and add a chamfer modifier here. I say risk it because sometimes I get crashes from this. So here are our bonsai tables, so to speak. And now I'm gonna make tabletops of them. So I've got a cool little trick for selecting. On off soft selection, and what you do is you select by angle. Boom! That's all you gotta do. I turn it to Z, upped it. Oh yeah, people really rely on plants so there's like a lot of indoor farming. The main thing so there is one kind of plant that does grow outside, and that is algae. So people have a lot of ways of farming algae and turning it into the proteins and carbohydrates, and then like 3D printing the food they need from that. So technically there is enough raw biomass that is self-sustaining that you might not need plants to survive. But the thing with plants is that you need to have these indoor ecosystems so that you have enough bacteria to like help keep like a gut microbiome healthy. I don't think it's enough to just give someone, protein bars, so to speak, for all their life. But plants are seen. Here's the interesting thing about this world: is art is extremely commonplace. Both the culture, there's the culture, the economy, and the technology all come together to make art and very intricate, beautiful things pretty easy to come by. So what people end up valuing more are like plants. So this is like a plant museum, so to speak. Space is also not is not hard to come by. Like it's a world where real estate itself is not actually very valuable, which is sort of a weird idea. I think in some places it definitely is, but it's not land area, real estate, it's not as valuable as it is on Earth. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to think about. I feel like trying to answer these questions, it helps me try to make sense of the world I'm living in. Actually, I'm going to just take all of these polygons and I'm going to try universally scaling again with the local. I know why it's not scaling properly, actually. Actually, this is working out okay. So these are the interiors that people are going... This is one of the interiors that people will find in the game. And I'm going to have a puzzle involving the bonsai trees. I think it'd be really, really neat to do that. See, and I've got my tabletops. Let's do a quick check here. Let's see. And so, and just to show people music I'm playing, this is called Theory of Colors by Daoud, D-A-U-D. I really need to get my little plug-in that tells people what I'm playing back. Alright, so I like these. I can work with these. I'm going to figure out how to taper them later, because I think I know how I would best do it. What I wanted, it would be easy to taper them all if they were separate objects, but they're not. But I think that this is a cool look. I dig it. In fact, I'm going to add a second layer. I'm going to add some variety here. I actually think I got this from the Bluetech stream months ago. Alright, that's needs a little more thickness here. I'm gonna make these gold, I think. There is no transfixation with gold itself in this world. I just think it looks nice. There we go. Yeah, isn't that a nice... That's like a nice little accent look. A little bit. Yeah. Now, let's see how this whole thing is looking. See, when I... Oh yeah, so I'm gonna ungroup. I'm going to add all these. There, now I've got a group. I open groups a lot. I know there are, in some ways, better ways to organize scenes, but I still just open and close groups. Alright. So, I just did a dumb, which is that, my little guy, I made these too high. I don't know what happened, but, They are now at, like, above eye level. Oops. But I think I know what I'm going to do. I am going to make this a more interesting thing. What if you had a little stair steps going up to these? You had like a little platform. I think I can salvage this. And so often I'll make mistakes and I'll go trying to salvage the mistake before I start over. Another thing I could just do is, there's a few different ways. I could just rescale this whole thing. I could put an X form modifier on it right here, and then just like rescale it that way. Wait a minute, why did it not rescale all of them? Oh, because I'm in local mode, right? Wait, what? Why does this kind of thing only happen when I stream? I swear. Gosh. All right. I'm hesitant to use. I try not to make a habit. Here, let me group it one more time. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, I'm just gonna deform it. No, I'm gonna do that original thing I said I'd do. Gosh. Yeah, I'll have to look into why the X form is not doing what it's supposed to do. But in the meantime, I've got other stuff I can do here. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here... Oh wait, I want to get rid of all my X forms. I've decided... I've got this... I'm just gonna delete them all. So, all gone. So I'm gonna just select, I'm gonna border select all of these and then create a shape with it. And that's all I need to do. Then I can just do that thing I did before where I make an outline. Alright. Yeah, let's outline it. Alright. So this music, by the way, this an album called Patience by DFRNT. I think it's a nice solid ambient album. So yeah, basically what I'm doing here is I'm outlining so I can make this into, so these are larger shapes. Then I'm going to edit poly that. Alright, so now I'm going to do is bevel this guy. So we're gonna go by polygon. Gonna up them. Oh, ha! I know what I did. This spline needs to detach. Yeah, I'm still gonna bevel. It's fine. Gonna edit poly. go into... Now we're talking here. And I don't mind if these things overlap or not. Wait, why? Did I only... Oh, I only got rid of one of them. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay, so this is why I need to just isolate. So, need to delete all of these. I think there's a setting in Outline that lets you get rid of the original, but it's faster to just do it manually. I love it. I'm finally catching myself better with bad posture. It used to be the hardest thing for me to just be aware. And yeah, it's so much better. I've actually been meditating on my posture and just practicing being aware of that as I'm finally catching myself through the day, like having to straighten up. I'm like, if someone sees me doing this, like, I don't know, yell at me through chat or something. Alright, so I'm gonna look for self-intersections, which can cause problems with Bevel, but I think I'm safe here. So I'm gonna exit nested isolation, which is one of the most useful things. I had to get a plugin for it. I don't know if Maya has it like default or not. June or Nuisance. Would you rather me call you by Nuisance or June? So yeah, I'm just gonna move this down here. Alright, now, for the third time, my bevel should work properly because I don't have those inner ones. Alright, there we go! This is what I wanted! And so then I'll just manually move these to work with the bevel, but that's kind of tweaking work. I don't need to do that right now. So yeah, I'm going to... I want to make it so it's like there's like a step, and I think what I need to do is actually select the edges on the bottom. So let's do that quick. And I actually want them to be a little off-centered. I think that's an interesting look. And then I'll just manually move them, but I like the idea that the stair steps that go up to them are like, it's asymmetrical. They're not... I've been trying to get away from the radial symmetry just a little bit. I use it a lot. I love it. I consider it a part of my style, but I also don't want to use it as a crutch. So yeah, now there's like a little step that people can view things on. And so I'm gonna make it more like a stair. It's still a little too high right now. But I could just make the whole world slightly smaller and it'll be fine. So I'm not terribly concerned about it, because I think it was probably a little too big anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and group these for now and deal with some of the other stuff. In fact, I'm gonna do a quick render. Yeah, that's looking good. It's looking cohesive. I really want yeah, natural forms and patterns to be reflected in here, even though it's all just geometrical. Once I start adding some lights in here, that's really gonna help to define forms too. Yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at here. I don't know what's going on right here. This is a little bit concerning because I don't see the geometry that's doing this, and it's been a while since I've been in this scene, so... Ooh! I have an idea. The lattice modifier of this. I want to have these little planters that maybe have these little teeny plants that are growing just as... No, maybe they... Let me think about this here. Yeah, I'll try it. How do I want to play this? Oh, I know. Select similar will come in handy here. Yeah, I'll detach it as a clone. And we want joints. We don't want struts. And I'm gonna give it... And we want more segments on these guys, so a little rounder. I've decided rather than plants coming out of this will just be ornamentation. And yeah, let me know if, Oh, James! Nice to hear from you. We gotta catch up sometime. I hope you've been well. Disconnect these, we're gonna group. I want to unlink selection that allows me to group. So yeah, I think I also want to define some floor tiles, and what I really want to do with this floor is have it be a thick floor where there is ground cover like moss inside the floor. I think that could be super cool. So yeah, let's do that. First of all, I'm going to clean up this part because this is not supposed to be part of this object. That should be deleted. Thank you, James. Oh my gosh. Double layered. Oh no, did you make it double layered because it's a food reference? I feel really bad for you. It's funny, like I shouldn't be laughing, but it's kind of funny. Someone in the chat has to do like overt product placement in their concept art. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's if you knew what company it was and you knew what kind of game it was, you would laugh too. I'm sorry. I wonder if my selection is somehow frozen because I should... Oh my gosh, did I really do this? I don't know why it's not letting me select. That's really weird. Am I in some kind of tool? Yeah, I don't know why I can't select, Oh! Oh my gosh, I think I know. I must be in Swift Loop or some kind of a tool. No. What in the world? Okay, I'm gonna save in case something is corrupted. It's likely not. I'm gonna save a version of this. So yeah, I'm just gonna deal with that later. I've got some ways of diagnosing these things, and it's kind of boring to watch, so... Oh yeah, look, it looks like I'm trying to edge slice something. So I must have hit a key. It's really strange. I'm gonna just reopen this real quick. So Jean says, I eventually bypassed a bunch of constraints. It was just way too hard in the deadline they gave me to make something not cringe. Yeah, I mean... Yeah... I'm trying to think of what I would have done in that assignment, and man, I don't know. I'm not sure I could have made. Oh, there we go. Okay, so when I reload, it's fine. Whatever. I don't get it. But I'll take it. So all I wanted to do was detach this thing. At least the scene doesn't take a long time to open this time. All right, now I'm back in business. All I wanted to do is I wanted to inset a bunch of these polygons, and I think the way I want to play this here is I'm going to use a tool here. Let's see, I'm going to run a script because the script version of the tool is the best, and what it is called select polygons by area. So what I do is I hit a polygon and get polygon area, so now I know what the area is in centimeters. So let's see, so let's go 40,000 to 60,000. Select polygons, and so what that does, let's try 20,000. So what that does is it selects them based on size. I actually was on a conference call with Autodesk about a week, well, less than a week ago. And I was, so it was like a little consulting thingy, and I told them I really wanted this feature native, which would be really nice because it's such a useful feature. So yeah, I'm going to move, so back to the floor having thickness, right? Move this downward, clone to object. So now that I have these guys down here, I want to have this kind of tiling effect. So I'm going to do the same thing as before, where I select the polygons, and then I inset, and then I'll delete the part that's, we'll clone this here. Clone to object. Posture correct. Can't tell you guys how happy I am that, like, I keep catching myself. It was It was really weird. It was really hard to ever do it. Alright, so I want my tiles to look something like this. Alright, that's good. So I'm gonna... I think my keyboard is malfunctioning. I may have to reset it because it does this thing sometimes where it thinks the shift key is being pressed and it's actually not. I don't know if anyone's had that before, but it means that then I have to rely on the UI to figure out where things are. Like, for example, I have no idea where the invert selection button is because I'm so used to using the hotkey, and now that my hotkeys aren't working, I just double check something. Huh. Really weird. Oh, I know what's happening. So you guys can tell I've been away from this particular part of the process. I don't think I had actually accepted that. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering if I just, like... if I do this dumb stuff all the time and I just don't remember it, it's just more apparent when I stream or what, but... Alright, now I'm gonna add that white acrylic. Oh, I want to show you guys something cool. Check this out. So, my friend had gotten this and, wasn't working out for them, and so now it was a birthday gift. It's been found a home and someone who's probably going to be able to use it, so I have put different, I don't know if it's easy to see, but I've made my own custom buttons on the Stream Deck. So these are physical buttons that have their own little like screen on them, so I can hotkey everything. Unfortunately though, I was under the impression that all software recognizes the F13 through F24 keys, because it turns out that in the super olden days of computers there were actually 24 F keys, and I was like, this is amazing, because that would open up so many shortcuts, because I've had this problem where I've kind of run out of shortcuts, and so unfortunately, the two pieces of software where I use them the most, where I was really hoping to use this, do not recognize the F keys, but it's still pretty useful because I can forget some of my shortcuts sometimes, and but yeah, it's still useful because you can do multi-actions with it. So like for example, one of my buttons, in fact I can go into it here. So I've got something called select by area. So remember how I had to browse for that? I actually have macroed this so that it pastes in the path of my script and loads it. So I don't have to go in and browse for anything, which that's still really nice. And also, like, I have synesthesia and I literally have color associations with the different tools. And so now I can make buttons where I've color-coded my workflow. Alright, so we've got these tiles that are underneath that I want to have moss cover on. And so now I'm going to add some thickness to the floor. And to do that, I'm going to go... I'm going to zero out that amount and make that about, we'll say... How thick do I want the floor to be? About 30 centimeters or so. And now I have this issue... and I have been meaning to make a script that fixes this. I think I know what it comes from. It's when I zero out. See, this was normally a 3D thing, and I flattened it, and I think it has to do with how I'm flattening it. That I'm getting these little parts that stick up. So the quick and dirty way of fixing it is to just select them all and just like move them. It's just like an extra step that I know I can automate away. You can get your Stream Decks for cheaper than that. I know my friend got theirs for cheaper. If I were buying it for myself, I would be on the fence because of the F key thing. It's absolutely worth that price to me to be able to open up a bunch of new shortcuts. But I'm going to try using this still. It's still within the return window, and if I don't feel like it's worth it to me, I'll just give it back to them and they'll return it. So, but yeah, there's a version with a lot more buttons that's like really expensive. Oh my gosh.
Quarterback too. So
Alright. So now I've got this floor with thickness. Is 30 centimeters enough? Should I go thicker? I'd probably go thicker, actually. Oh, yeah. No wonder this looked too small. It was actually... Let's make it floor-y. Let's make it like half the... Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think this is because back when I made this scene, I scaled it down. I scaled it the bad way. I have a much better way of doing this so that I don't actually have to do this cleanup anymore, because it's pretty annoying to have to this up. There's a lot of stuff that I'm still learning. Like, I'm completely self-taught in 3D, and there's some basic rules of thumb I found out later about, like, modeling that nobody ever told me, and they don't really say that stuff in tutorials. Because tutorials tell you how to do certain things, but they don't tell you best practices. That's something where I probably would have benefited at the time from, like, reading a book, especially a book that was maybe, rather than being software specific, being maybe more general. Says you want to check out super specialized tutorials. Well, I mean, nowadays that's typically what I do. Like, when I look up tutorials, it's like, I want to do a certain thing, just tell me how to do the thing. And when I was still learning, I think I was in that headspace too early. And so there are some definite, like, holes in my knowledge, especially since I haven't worked in a studio as a modeler. Yeah, I'm just gonna brute force this here. Alright. That should be good enough. It's not perfect, but honestly, if there's minor things to touch up that the player's only going to see, like close up, I can still fix those in Photoshop. So, I need to learn better how to, as they say, satisfice. Let me give it a little teeny bit of shell, which would be like just like 1 centimeter, something really thin. And now, render this. Oh, that's a weird look. It almost looks like the normals are flipped or something weird. Do I have a full surface? Okay, next step. Next step is to, I'm gonna duplicate this whole thing. And I'm just going to select, get rid of this shell, and I'm just gonna select the very topmost polygons. Go back to selection, back to angle, boom. Now I can invert, delete, boom. Oh look, yeah, my bad geometry is coming back to haunt me here. Hey, later. Nice talking to you. Alright, so now we've got a perfect floor. Yay! Alright, so now I have a good top surface here, which means I can take the lattice modifier again, right up here. And let's see what I want to do with this here. We're going to give it 6 sides, a radius of, I think I'm going to get rid of the strut, the joints. So we only want struts. I'm gonna give it a radius of like 4, let's say. Make it 6. And now this is where I will actually use the deformer. Because it's a really cheap way to, well, hold on, okay, I could just X-form it. That's not, the X-form modifier annoys me for some reason. Yeah, it's nice and let's make this gold too. Or technically more like bronze, but so now we should be able to, oh, there we go, yeah. It's so gratifying when you do something small and it has this like intricate effect. I love it. Perfect. Yeah, this floor's looking good now. I'm trying to think of different ways to, I want to add these little green mounds. Actually, I better wait and see how this looks in the whole thing first. I'm gonna do a test render, and while I do that, I am going to take a quick break. BRB needs to be brighter. Alright. Yeah, I like how the stone's coming out. It definitely has the look of like what I'm trying to get here. I wanted to have some hanging plants coming out of this middle part. I kind of lost my bonsai trees. You guys see one. I'm gonna start putting some on the pedestals just to get a sense of the space. And one thing to keep in mind too is that this is just one camera view. So if I look at my little guy and we go up a little bit from him. In fact, I might just move the whole floor up a little bit. I'm gonna have multiple points in the game where you can see the different trees up close. So, one thing I just love about 3D is you can see... Here, let me move a couple trees to their positions here. One's a little small. Alright, so these trees don't have any materials on them yet, so they're just showing up as white, but it just at least gives a sense of the detail. I think that these are too large, so I'm gonna change the radius to like something like that. Everything is very little of what's in the scene is oops, my BRB sign is still up. Yeah, that looks better to me. You can have little plaques with like the names of them and some things to make this a little more relatable to like, you know, a modern day museum. I really like the way the reflective floor is reflecting the dome up above. I think that that's really nice looking. So definitely very diffuse light. I should be getting in some oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. I could have little lamps on each one of these, hanging above each one of these, and they'll be hanging in the ceiling. And they'll all work with the ceiling geometry because the floor geometry lines up with the ceiling geometry. So this is basically what I did to make the floor is I took the ceiling and I flattened it, which is one of the reasons why I was having those problems with the vertices earlier. But the nice thing about this is that I can now, well, first of all, I'm going to chamfer this. Because, let's see. Actually, I just want to chamfer the top part, so I'm going to just get the top edge. So what I can do is select all the top polygons, and then convert to edge, and then that allows me to chamfer. And so I can use my Stream Deck, because I mapped chamfer to that. One of the reasons I'm a little slower is I'm trying to get used to the Stream Deck, and one thing I'm finding is that if I have to look at it too much, I really need to have finger memory, and what I may end up doing is putting some extra bumps on the keys, glue or something, so that, yeah, so I've got, yeah, so I added a little bit of, noticed, so now it looks a lot more refined. Like a nice little rounded edge there. What's nice is that that's all parametric. I can always turn it off. That's what I love about this workflow. That's what I love about this software. Is there's some software that can do great things, but it is very destructive. You make a change and you can't go back. Let's see. What was? Oh yes, lights. I was talking about lights. So let me think about. There's a different strategy for this to get. Ooh, I think I know of maybe the best ways. I want to have something that's in the middle of each one of these islands. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this. And get out of the shell, so now I just have polygons. So what I could do is I could just inset these until I have these really small things. And that might work, but what if I tessellate it? Let's see, where did I put tessellate? There we go. I have to make my own custom buttons for these. So if I go to face center, haha! So by tessellating, I'm able to get this bump here. And so the best way to make a dome light in which every, oh yeah, totally. This will work well because I'll just lattice it. And I will say joints only. And yeah, let's isolate this here. We'll give them a different color. And now I'll just delete everything that's not one of these middle joints. Make them a little bigger. We'll make it icosahedrons. Add an extra segment. Alright, and this is one of those things where I think I could automate this. Let me think about how I do this. Yeah, I think I know how I might go about it, but it would take longer to set that up than is worth it right now. So I'm just boop, boop. And then I'll just select invert. And the great thing is if I ever want these edge ones, I've got them in here. It just means it takes longer to load the scene, basically. In fact, instead, I think I'll do, instead of select and move, I'm just select. I really like using an actual graphics tablet for this kind of work, having this kind of precision rather than using a mouse. It's really nice. Right. No! I must have selected and moved at one point, these guys, but I'll fix them later. This is the danger. It's okay. You know, honestly, like, having these things where I have to manually do stuff, it adds a little more life to the scene. Those little variances, I think ultimately, artistically, are better, even if it takes a little more time. Get a little bit of variance. Alright, so now we have our lamps. And what's great about this technique is rather than making a whole bunch of different lights, now I just need to make a V-Ray mesh light. Save this. So what did it just do here? It tried to make... I'm gonna make a backup of these. Move this here. Come on. To the side. I guess it won't move to the side. So yeah, I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm just going to now that I'll often make a copy of something with all the modifiers, just collapse it. And these should actually probably be a little bit smaller now that I think about it, so... Yeah, there we go. Be right back and get some water. Alright, so mesh lights. Getting mesh lights. See, I want to replace it. I want to make these meshes glow, and the way that I like doing that, convert to mesh light. And what's weird about this is that it's trying to convert everything to mesh light, and I don't know why that is, because I'm only selecting these. So these must be... just unlink the selection. Now let's try it. Alright, that's what I wanted. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes my selections get linked, and then it tries to apply an effect to multiple objects, even when multiples are not selected. And so now that I have this mesh light, I'm going to need to dial the color of the light way up, because we are dealing with the daylit scene. And, there we go. So now, I should have lights that are... So yeah, because my scene's pretty warm, let's make the color temperature of the light. Move it to the blue here. Yeah, so now you can see that the blue's going on here. So once I start adding the plants, should work. I don't know why, this is usually really easy to dock. Should go right on the side here. Just move it to the... That's so weird. Why is it when I stream? Is it something to do with... It's so strange. Oh, it should find something right on the side here, and it should let me dock it. Well, I'll monkey around with it later, I guess. It's so weird, though. You know what? I'm just gonna put this on another monitor. Man, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if having OBS, like, affects how my other software works. So yeah, you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing with layers, but I'm basically moving these things down to my holding bank so they aren't there. The reason for that is I want to have these lights coming down, hanging down from, it's essentially this. So basically what's happening here is that each one of these hubs is going to be kind of like this thing here, and you're gonna have hanging plants there. So you've got kind of bonsai on the ground, and you've got hanging plants from the top. And so what I'm gonna need to do is select some of these other islands. It's important to kind of get a sense. Each one of these is a jump point. And so I'm using these spheres to like help to get a sense of the scene and what the scene will look like from different angles. That's I find that this is a really nice way, just a real quick way to navigate around my scenes. So yeah, let's see what it looks like. That's strange. It says I'm rendering perspective, and yet, oh, I know, it's because I'm locked to quad 4. So if I now go in and... That's why. So now I should be able to render from the perspective of these trees, and I may end up going ahead and adding some texture to these now, because it will really help to know how much light to add when I can see their texture. So yeah, they're definitely catching that blue light, for sure. See, I'm not using GPU rendering. Yeah, that's kind of pretty, the way they're catching some blue light like that. dig it. I dig it. I think I want these to be smaller. What I love about the V-Ray light, mesh light is that I can change the mesh how much I want, and it's still a light. I don't think in earlier V-Rays you were able to do that. And I think I'm going to make them even brighter. To 1,000. Light multiplier brightness, light brightness multiplier matters a lot when it comes to whether it's a daylight or a night scene. Somehow my music changed. Well, let me try a different genre here. I want something maybe a little more up-tempo. I'm trying to find songs that I know are less likely to be copyrighted. It's kind of hard. Most of my personal library has like I don't remember. That's probably copyrighted. This album was a pay what you want. I don't know if that means if it's copyrighted or not. Yeah, so these are gonna look nice, I think, when I've got all my materials on in there. Yeah. Thank you. I still wonder what's happening with these. I kind of want to inspect them. Yeah, that's really strange. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Yeah, okay. So these are behind the wall. And my problem is that my wall has too much thickness, and so it's refracting the light in a way that is making it so I cannot see. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Yeah. wonder why it's taking so long to save this. Okay, so I just accidentally moved this. Can't tell. I don't know why this polygon is so slow. There must be something relying on it in the scene. Alright. Okay, so this is supposed to be like I said, no, this brown wall is supposed to be like it is. Alright, so sweep. I have to kind of remember how I put the scene together. Not is this an individual piece or part of something else? It is part of my game project. So it is an interior room in my game. So it is part of Intopolis, which I will it is part of this project. And Intopolis means like into polis, and so the into part partially means you are diving into places. So yeah, so this is part of the world of Phimos. That is the planet that this is all part of, and I've been working on variants of Phimos for quite a while. Variants of it. It has changed a lot over the years, for sure. So let me figure out why I wasn't able to see my struts. So these might be made out of some kind of glass. And one of the downsides of keeping all my modifiers in is it can be slower to select stuff. So I want these to show up. So let me figure out what material. Oh, this is why. Oh. So I had a very clear glass for these, so of course they're not going to show up. And I'm looking at this from the outside, so I'm also not seeing them for that reason. Alright. And for time's sake, I'm going to just do what's called a region render. Oh, Emmanuel, cool. Nice to have you in here. Yep, I am showing off. Remember that thing I was talking about in the Discord group with the taper, or not the taper, with the data channel modifier? Is that this is the first use of data channel in one of my actual game scenes. It's great. So now we can see these just fine. Awesome. I will make them a little more attractive later, but right now I'm just glad to be able to let's see. So the question, how many polys is that? It's a total of 3,430,520 polygons for the whole scene. I believe that includes some of my hidden objects too. I don't know, I mean, I don't consider that actually very high poly. At least not by my standards. Look how pretty this data channel modifier is. So get this, with data channel you can make. So see where these taper? I can take that same soft selection thing and apply it to material. So I can have it blend between like translucent and solid materials, all with the same data channel, which is super cool. I don't know exactly how to do it with materials yet, but I'm gonna figure that out later. So I'm bringing in these bonsai trees. So they're sitting on top of the... In fact, let me bring in some more here. And I'll just add all my my materials later. Alright, that's almost done with the non-demo versions. Alright, so unfortunately when they come in the coordinate system's set wrong, so I'm just gonna batch grab these and rotate them. And I had a script, I've been moving my scripts around again, but I've got one that drops everything to the floor automatically. I'm trying to remember where I put it. It's called like object dropper. Oh yeah, it's one of the, I got it in here. Yeah, here we are. So I need to pick a ground. And here's the fun thing about object dropper. So if I make a plane, I can make it not the ground, but actually where I want them to drop onto the table. So all I need to do now they're saying if you haven't already, you should take a look at connectors sometime for ease of access with external assets. Yeah, I've been using the Cine software. It's called Project Manager, and this is the demo, so I can't drag everything in. But it lets me have my models, my materials, textures, IES lights, all that stuff. It seems pretty fast, like the previews are fast, but I'm still kind of shopping around. Like I haven't bought this yet, so I've also have my older version is 3D browser, but I didn't like what it did with thumbnails, so I don't use it as much anymore. Alright, object dropper. So you pick the ground object, and then add selected to ground object, and then you do, and they should all go down to the, why aren't they on the ground? Oh, come on now. I could swear this has worked in the past. Maybe it's because this isn't, maybe this needs to be a, an editable poly or something. Pick ground objects. I'm gonna reset the transform. Maybe that did it. Right? Oh, there we go. Oh, I think I know what I did. I accidentally added the selected to the ground objects, so Max thought they were all ground objects. Oh, connector is free. Nice. I'm going to make a note of this. Ah, free digital assets management for 3D artists. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh, so connector is oh, okay, so it's a plugin for lots of things. Yeah, that looks nice. I will check that out. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. By the way, for anyone said you messaged in the server, if anyone's wondering what that server is, I will link an invite. And I lost my Twitch window now. There we go. So I have more platforms than I have bonsai trees, but I'm planning to put other plants on these too. I can also play around with adjusting. So now I want to make a platform around all these things that people can stand on. I can link to that playlist right now. Yeah, it's good. The artist is named Nomadic, and nice. It's Pay What You Want album. He's also on Spotify, I think, too. I'm trying to play music that I think will not get removed. Alright, so now that I have lights in here, it should work. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna add the rest of my trees. And I still have more trees too. I also have some dead bonsai. This is from an asset pack that I bought a little while ago. And I've known I've wanted to make this scene for a while. I'm only just like now getting around to it. I'm doing like a bazillion other things. Alright. These are all in a group now. Yeah, it really does look like it's higher poly than it is, huh? It's a lot easier to keep interiors under control than exterior. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? Keep task switching. Ah, here we go. So I'm gonna make a duplicate of this bottom, and I want to make platform. Man, I had a script that let me delete extra vertices, and I don't remember where it is. I think there's a way to do it in Max anyways. It's like under selection, you can select stray vertices. And I don't know if you know. Yeah, there's some way to do it. Normally I might like take a break to go Google it, but when I stream, I don't like to do too much internet browsing, so I just end up sometimes doing things illegally. Yeah, is there a way to select isolated vertices when you're in vertex mode or something? Oh, right here, to remove isolated vertices. I knew there was a button right there. Yeah, totally. Yeah! Totally. Unite. I know. I was so glad when you joined my Discord server, because I don't have many Max friends on Discord. I have some on Facebook, but yeah, it's we gotta stick together. You can select all vertices at once and click connect. You can then triangulate your message and keep the shape. Yeah, I also just used the tessellate modifier too to triangulate, and there's another way to do it as well. Right now I'm just trying to make some of these, what I might end up doing is just bridging these. Or no, I think I'll weld these. So yeah, I'm just gonna weld these and just try to get it nice. And the reason I'm doing this is that I'm making a platform that people can stand on. It's gonna be partially like acrylic. I need to have multiple observation points that make sense. And right now I've got this issue. I'm trying to figure out why the topology is doing this. So I've got a vertex here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, this is fine too. Because I'm trying to simplify it anyways, so I don't actually mind changing the shape, but it really makes things more interesting too. I may end up, you know what I think I'll do is, I think I'll chamfer these vertices just a little bit. Why is it doing this now? I've always heard, so I remember hearing this rule of thumb that you should never chamfer vertices, and I break it all the time. Oh yeah, you're right. They are actually probably at a different z-axis, and I know that there's a way to zero those out. So I think you click this, and you do the manual enter, and then you make it so that z is 0. That zeroes them out. I also have a script somewhere that zeroes them out. I'm trying to remember where I put it. This is my problem, is I have so many scripts I forget where I put them. Make planar by z-axis. Is that... where do I get that? I don't think I've ever used that. I know the way where I select vertices, I go into the transform type in, and I should be able to transform them. Oh wait, maybe that's polygon. Maybe I have to go into polygon mode. But it's... I just want to be able to transform the Z. Oh, it's in edit geometry. Edit geometry where? You mean in the graphite modeling strip? Or down... oh yeah, I see. In edit geometry, gotcha. Oh, make planar Z. Nice! Wow. It's so funny, it's like, I've been using this for long enough and I still just kind of gloss over some of these. I have used this before, I just didn't remember where it was. Alright, so now I should be able to chamfer them, and it should work out okay. Trying to get used to using my... I don't know when you're in here when I showed off my little gizmo. Yeah, it looks like that fixed it. Oh wait, no it didn't. So I made it planar and it's still doing this business. See what's going on there. I wonder if it's double-sided or something. I'm gonna try a test here. I'm gonna shell this. Yeah. Oh, you had a formal... Nice! Yeah, I have some holes in my knowledge for sure. I was just saying that before you hopped on. Is, a lot of when I learned is I would poke around and kind of try things for myself, and then when I couldn't figure stuff out, I'd go on like YouTube and I would try to find very specific examples of how to do stuff. But what that meant was that I didn't get that kind of foundation of, oops, I'm gonna convert. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll select edges. I don't know if you use Rappa tools, but you can select similar. Well, it should work. It's supposed to select all edges by the same length, but for some reason it's not doing it. So I'll just do it this way. Oh look, it's doing it again even when I do it with edges. But you know what? I don't need to do this badly enough. Sometimes I just like... It's because of the N-Gon. Yeah. I could see that. So I could just like... I could just tessellate it, or I could bridge. That's what I could do, is I could connect, right? I could go into vertex, and... Yeah, I can see why it's because of the N-Gon now. I can picture, like, why it would do that. So... Maybe if they're all connected and then I do it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, totally. Nice. Man, I need you in my streams more often. Got him. Yeah, that's more what I wanted. In fact, I'll make another edit poly and do it in that one so that I have a, So, I mentioned my gizmo. Oh, it's 3:30 a.m. Oh man, I'm sorry. So check this out. This is called a stream deck. And this is basically, you can put individual macros and hotkeys and stuff on these buttons and make your own buttons. So I have these like custom little like button graphics I made. So I've got all my modeling, my common modeling functions on the deck, which is kind of neat. Now I'm gonna do the thing where I select by area. Polygon area. It doesn't want to do it because I'm not. Mind it won't. So now I'm gonna shell this guy. And 0. Get the shell of 20-ish. And it's kind of hard to see what's going on here, right? That's kind of like... So I'm totally gonna isolate this. So I'm trying to do is I want to... Oh, I know what I'll do. So I'm going to add a second shell. No, I'm not going to do that. So here's something I want to do is I want to select the edge. No, I'm going to go into border selection mode. Oops. I'm going to make a... Yeah, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a linear version. And yeah, so I'm going to go into spline mode here. Where's my... Oh, there it is. I'm gonna outline this. You know, if you hold control down when you go from vertices to faces, a selection will transfer. Yes, I do know that. That is very useful. So I want to do a sweep on this. I really hope the sweep modifier gets an overhaul. I have some ideas for it. It is useful as it is, so. Joker Martini. I do know the Joker Martini scripts. I know I have some. Let's see what I've got here. Let's see. I think it's under Joker Martini. J, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I know I have a couple of his things. Sweet Profile Pro. Oh, I do know Sweet Profile, but I thought that was mostly for like molding and stuff. The main thing I would love is something that doesn't allow for self-intersections. So, see what's going on here. I want to be able to have all these vertices like just not do this rat's nest thing. Yeah, see if I know that I can like go in and I can like, you know, clean it up, but that's like a lot of, ain't nobody got time for that. So I often just leave it as it is. But then if I do a material along the spline, what happens is you can see it looks all fragmented. So I'd love to have something that just like, oh, you know what? I actually think that Tyflow might have a solution for this. It's just usually kind of blobby looking. So I'm going to try it though, just for the lulz. It's called a Tie Spline Mesher. I've only just played with this, but it seems like it does like what ZBrush does and it retopologizes it. Rail Clone, I haven't done that in Rail Clone. Rail Clone, it allows you to repeat things around a spline. Yeah, I could try Rail Clone for stretching stuff, that's true. I actually have Rail Clone. I got it on sale a while back and I have not spent enough time learning it yet. I know the basics, but there's so much it can do that I haven't done. Man, you know what I do is I've got this wish list of plugins. I've got this little like spreadsheet of it, and then when Black Friday comes around and like Cyber Monday, all these things go like half off or better, and I do like this like shopping spree on that day and get everything. Yeah, I have Rail Clone, I have Multi-Scatter, if we're talking about like big alright, so geometry mode. You can do mesh. It's Styleline Mesher, basically it's sort of like ZBrush's Zebra Mesher except for splines. Squash, stretch, rotate. 1 second. Okay. I think if I use extrude, then I have to give it a spline that's like it's sort of like Sweet Profile. Actually, I want to check Sweet Profile real quick. I am probably gonna get going pretty soon. I'm gonna have some dinner pretty soon. I'm trying to remember. I've used Tie Spline Mesher when I have splines that I made in Tyflow. And so what I'm trying to do is see how to make it work with when I'm giving it my own spline. Well, I'm just gonna make a shell modifier with it anyways. Yeah, that looks nice. I kind of... As long as it's not too weird to have it be where, like... It's rounded here, and then there's sharp corners here. I have to do a render here. So I noticed that the floor is very dark. I want to add some lights in the floor. I do like the way it's reflecting the ceiling though, so if I go too crazy with the lights, what's gonna happen is like... Yeah... If I add too many lights, it's going to dim down what happens on the reflection. So I don't want that. All of a sudden this is looking a lot better scale for my, my little dude in the corner here. I'm gonna make these a different material too. This is my acrylic translucent. Let's try kind of a frosty glass here. Yeah, that's better. See, with the frosty glass, you have a much better transition. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I dig that. And now, I'm going to take this frosty glass and make the shell. So this is where I want to have the lights hanging off. So you know how sometimes you like in restaurants and stuff where, or like areas that used to be industrial that they've kind of made over to be like more finished. So they have this kind of floating ceiling. Yes, I am listening to Kilowatts, actually. I will post the album. I feel bad. I have this plugin that's supposed to auto-show the track title and name of what I'm playing based on what's playing in my iTunes. And it's not working right now. So I've been kind of bad about music credits. Here's the album. Yeah, so much of what Kilowatts does is like the perfect creative work music. I definitely one of my favorite artists. Yeah, so now you can see I've got a place for my lights to be hanging from. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this. Yeah, perfect. What I really like about this is that this suggests clouds, kind of. Now, what I really wanted to do was add some kind of a floor in the middle that people can actually go to. So the back here is going to have like a platform. So then lights are going to be hanging from the currently selected part that I have. But yeah, that's good. It, like, psychologically, I love the way it looks like clouds. So nice. Yeah, I gotta get my Rail Clone game back on again. So I wanted to do some beaded, like, sort of like what I have with the lights here. So I've got a V-Ray mesh light that I'm lighting each and every bonsai tree. Each one has a light above it. And I want to have the lights be kind of a chain that's coming down from the ceiling. I really do wonder, though, what's so strange about this scene is that it feels like wasted space to me. Like, I have to keep getting into the headspace of, in this world, space is not a concern. In fact, in some ways, there's too much space, because what you have are these, imagine being humans who are expecting to go to a planet that are, imagine they're expecting to go to a planet that is like a raw, uncolonized planet, and they get there, and the planet has actually been incredibly industrialized to the point that, like, there are vast cities that have been built for them, because it turns out that their descendants had made a way to get to that planet much quicker and beat them there, and then built up all this stuff for them. But their descendants are not, they don't have the best theory of mind. They are kind of, we could say, post-humans. And so they have built all these things for humans, thinking they knew what humans wanted, and humans get there and end up underutilizing some of the stuff they built for them. And so you can have places that are very large that are not being, you know, fully used. And that's kind of part of, it starts to turn interiors into wildernesses, because it's actually conceivable to find a place in this world that's an architectural place that no one has ever seen the inside of before you. It's almost like, it's like urban exploration except for new things rather than like old decayed things. So my point of all this here is that having a very big structure that is only being used a little bit inside of it is not actually that weird for this world, so. I think I accidentally selected something that was heavy. So I think I'm gonna get going, actually. I need to eat food, and Emmanuel, oh my gosh, get some sleep. I feel bad keeping you up. It's like after 4 a.m. for you now, right? Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get some food, and yeah, so it's been fun, guys. Thank you, everybody who has come in and watched the stream. It's good to get back in the headspace of 3D streaming, and I've been having fun with this scene, despite some of the peculiarities I've encountered. But yeah, I definitely look forward to finishing this one and making it explorable. Alright, have a good night, everybody, or morning in the case of some.